Hey guys, what's going on? Hermdo back with you. Just chilling out, drinking a couple Coors Lights, smoking a fume. I can't say I'm smoking it. There's no smoke in this. There's no nicotine in it. Just like this mint thing you put in there. I like the way it hits the back of your throat. You can make a dirty joke about that, I guess. But yeah, what I wanted to talk about today was self-destruction. I participate in some self-destructive activities. I eat some garbage. I drink too much, smoke too much. I get into all these weird emotional states where I don't know what emotion I'm trying to convey. It's just like this big mishmash of dog shit, and I feel bad, I feel good. I don't know what to do. I cope with it by engaging in like just destructive behaviors. It's something I got to work on. I'm pushing 40. I'm going to be 40 in less than a year. I can't be fucking around like this. Big fat guy fucking around. But a lot of people are participating in self-destructive activities. A lot of people you see, it's something I've noticed lately in the last few years as the economy has been unstable, as we've had the looming threat of fascism or communism or whatever ism you people are afraid of these days. But as things grow more uncertain and more precarious, you're going to see a lot of people, I guess you call it crashing out. I've crashed out a few times. Some of my videos I crash out. But you're going to see people doing fucked up shit. You're going to see people who, by all accounts, are smart. They're your friends. They're your family members. They're people you know online. They're someone important to you. And you're going to see them participate in all manner of self-destructive, fucked up behavior. You're going to see them destroy themselves. And it's not going to be pretty, and you're not going to like seeing it, but there's really nothing you can do to stop it. I see it all the time with my friends. Cooking their brains on weed, dating women who are absolute psychopaths who suck all their energy out of them, engaging in all these fucked up, destructive behaviors, doing drugs, staying up for days on end, hanging out with shitty people, people that don't care about them, people that only goad them on to do more self-destructive things. And in this day, where myself and a bunch of people I'm sure are who are watching are kind of stuck watching these people destroy themselves, it kind of fucks you up. And I kind of feel like I'm destroying myself in some way. I'm not active enough. I don't participate in healthy activities enough. It's my mental state. I don't want to treat this as like some therapy space because people on YouTube don't really give a fuck. I don't expect people to really understand me on a deep personal level. I'm just some asshole that makes videos that nobody watches. But it's something I have to correct. Most of the time, I'm okay. My emotions are pretty much on an even keel, but some days I veer way too far down and I get very depressed. I get very anxious. I'm very anxiety ridden, depending on what chemical I've altered my consciousness with at that moment. But yeah, it's like a cycle you gotta like pull yourself out of. And some days I wonder, if I'm strong enough to do that. And a lot of people aren't strong enough to do that kind of shit. And you're gonna see people doing all this destructive shit. And when it comes to like politics and stuff, you're gonna see people adopting viewpoints and ideologies that run totally counter to what you believe in. People like with this Trump thing. I know you don't need another fatso hyperventilating about Trump like some fucking douchebag. I get it. But a lot of people will follow him to the ends of the earth, no matter how badly they get fucked over. But that's just the thing. They just, with all these ideologies, with all these people out there, with all these figures we latch on to and form parasocial bonds with, people who wouldn't piss on us if we are on fire. We still follow them off a cliff. Um, we take our cues from them. We let them kind of shape our ideology and thoughts without even realizing it. A lot of the ways like media and certain personalities interact with us, it's very negative. It's very one-sided. We're not getting anything out of it. We're basically engaging in fucked up behavior because we think it pleases some figure we are obsessed with. It's goofy. You see that what happened with people like Trump, certain figures on YouTube, certain e-celebrities, certain singers, certain actors. You know, there's like a whole cult built up around women like Sabrina Carpenter or Beyonce or Taylor Swift or whatnot, and some other musical artists and whatnot. I got to be careful what I say. I don't want a bunch of white women getting mad at me in the mentions. And there's a lot of people out there who just can't really like exist in a way. You want to call them normies or something, you want to call them whatever, and their whole lives just revolve around this weird relationship they have with other people. Or it's not necessarily people, we can say like celebrities, but also ideology. The way people cling to certain ideologies, like destructive right-wing ideologies and certain figures, Andrew Tate, Nick Fuentes, all that shit. You see a lot of young guys adhering to that shit, adhering to these figures, adhering to that ideology, and you know it's going to destroy them. You know it's not leading them anywhere good. It's only going to lead to disappointment and heartbreak and tragedy. But they still keep following these guys. Past the point, it makes sense. You know, we're just looking for that next big voice to tell us what to do. And I don't want to turn this into some religious argument or some shit like that. But, you know, me personally, there's some figures I respect and like, but I'm at this age now where I'm like making decisions for myself. I don't really care what other people think for the most part. I don't really there's no figure in my life I really worship. Like some people worship celebrities or right-wing provocateurs or left-wing streamers. And they orbit them, their lives revolve around them. Me personally, I'm the one fucking my own life up. And maybe I've taken some cues from some shitty people, and maybe I wasn't very discerning when it came to the kind of content I watched. But lately, it's just, I tell you what I've been doing. I've just been kind of unplugging from like social media. I have not been following this shit. I haven't been checking my socials. I've been listening to ambient music and smoking weed and spacing out and just separating myself from all this political shit as much as I can. I still use Twitter on occasion. I don't post on Twitter, but I use it basically as a news aggregator. But the algorithm is nothing but slop. Same thing with YouTube. I want to watch some videos on YouTube. I gotta contend with all this slop. But I basically just like, I'm getting to the point myself where I can't have my beliefs shaped by strangers on the internet anymore. I can't do that shit. I have to live in the now. And if I have to like depend on myself, and I'm an asshole, I do self-destructive things. I participate in shitty, toxic behavior. I'm not going to pretend I've always been Johnny Progressive, the moral high ground guy. I can't pretend that. I was on Xbox Live in 2009 saying as many slurs as everybody else. I'm not going to pretend I've always been some staunch liberal wagging my finger at bigotry. It's not the fucking case. And yeah, it's a depressing life. I've lived, I've done some fucked up stuff, and I cope with it in bad ways. These are all things I need to work on. Admitting it is a step. But a lot of people will never admit these relationships they get into, these behaviors they take part in, are destroying them, and they can't break free of the cycle. Because some days I think like you're worried about what you are without these outside influences. Who are you without these internet strangers telling you what to do, telling you how to think, basically like dictating your life for you, dictating your belief structure for you? Who are you beyond all the stimulation and the orbiting and all this shit? If you don't like yourself, that's kind of what I discovered. Besides all this shit, when I started just like getting this shit out of my life, removing these influences from my life, I kind of looked at myself and I'm like, hey, I'm not a very good person. Me, myself, looking at myself in the mirror, beyond all the bullshit, beyond all the hyperbole, who am I really? I'm a fat working class slob who's broke. I got all sorts of issues, mentally, of course, that have only been made worse by me engaging with this social media slop for so long. and it kind of depressed me. And therefore, I engage in, I don't like who I am myself personally, so therefore, I engage in self-destructive behaviors. And some attempt to like kill this version of myself that I don't like, when I'm really only making my own life worse. I'm making my health worse, my mental health, my physical health, my mental well-being, my money, my ability to earn money, basically just, you know, that's a big key of it. And some days I just don't give a shit, the 9 to 5 grind, the capitalism shit, all this shit. Some days I just don't care. I know I should be more focused on money. That's the thing. When I have money, I'm happy. When I don't have money, I'm broke. If I had more money, I probably wouldn't be so depressed. What am I going to do to get more money? I don't fucking know. But that's a part of it. The way your life is structured, the direction your life is heading in depends so much on your mindset. And if you have a shitty mindset, you're not going to go anywhere. And yeah, maybe that sounds like something one of these red pill guru douchebags says. But to me, it's kind of true. My mindset sucks. Therefore, I engage in shitty behaviors. It costs me. It makes me fatter. It makes me more depressed. It makes me more self-destructive. It makes me angrier. Makes my emotions this big mixed bag of bullshit. But, seeing that now, realizing that now, kind of coming out of this, basically this cycle of crap and assessing where I am in my life. And it's a good thing, I spent so long on the internet trying to prove myself to other people who didn't know me, people who didn't give a fuck about me, people who maybe I shared some of their beliefs, but they weren't good people. Just because we thought we were fighting on the side of good, we thought we were fighting against evil, communism, progressivism, wokeism, whatever. But what are these people really doing for me? How are they helping me? They're not. They're helping themselves. And they're using me to get more clicks and attention. You're being manipulated. Oh, I was just spacing out in my car, smoking cigarettes. I'm going back to smoking this now. It's not bad. I like that hint of mint. Anyways, this is a stop smoking aid. I bought a pack of cigarettes when I went to work. More self-destructive behavior. I've been smoking so much lately. I also got some of these Zyn boys. Let me crack one of these open. I like that mint. I'm like obsessed with mint. I get like mint vapes. I get like menthol flavored because it kind of tastes minty like the cigarettes. I get the Newports and shit. Wintergreen 6 milligram. Damn fine Zyn. I prefer the peppermint, but I can't find those in 6 milligram. Anyways, yeah, those are just my thoughts. Just some shit. Be more discerning. Damn it. Be more discerning about the media you interact with. Recognize your shitty behavior. Don't just be like dismissive of it. Just be like, yeah, well, I'll start doing this good stuff tomorrow. I'll stop doing this destructive bullshit at some point soon. I got to get my shit together, blah, blah, blah. No, actually get your shit together. Stop listening to these fucking charlatans and live your life. Or else you'll be in an early grave. That's something I want to avoid. I want to be alive, man. I want to live. And for a lot of my life, I couldn't say that. There's been times in my life I've absolutely, positively wanted to end my life. I wanted to unalive myself at certain points in my life. It was dark times. I don't feel that way anymore. I want to live. I want to live for a long time. I want to see the world changing. And me sitting back, not being able to do a goddamn thing about it. You accept that? That's a truth. Lord, grant me the strength to accept what I cannot change. I have to accept what I cannot change, whether it comes to the society I live in or the people I live around or things about myself. I'm always going to be a nut job. I'm always going to be an asshole, but I can change certain aspects about my life. I can change aspects about my life. I can't change anybody else's life for them. I can't, no matter what I do. No matter how badly I want people to engage in healthy, productive behaviors and stop this cycle of bullshit. No matter what I do, they're always going to do fucked up shit. And there's nothing I can do to stop it. When you understand that, a whole new world opens up to you. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't take it, you should take it lying down. By all means, voice your opinions and shit like that. But in a lot of cases, you'll find people just ain't listening. And it's frustrating, and it annoys you, and it depresses you. That's just the way it is. You do what you can, you talk to who you can, look at yourself as an individual, look at the way you impact the world. Try to connect with people who you think you can reach, who can be reached, people who can be reached. Otherwise, you're just kind of wasting your time. And I think social media and this whole e-celeb culture adds to that. But, okay, I'm done rambling. That's all I got to say about this so far. This Zin is delightful. But yeah, that's all I got to say about it. But thank you for watching. If you watch this far, listen to me ramble. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. Be smart. I'll talk to you guys later.